Around the world, millions are living with genetic diseases. Diseases with limited treatment options that often don't address the underlying causes, leaving scientists questioning what can be done, and people living with the diseases with little hope for answers. While some have shied away from the challenge, others have refused to give up.
I started out my professional career in academic medicine. When I was in training, the advice that I received was to not focus on sickle cell disease or beta thalassemia because there was no future in it. There were not treatment options available. Essentially, one of the options I would have in the clinic was to ask people if they had drank enough water today. I think in this century, it is unacceptable to have a treatment option of drinking water. I transitioned into industry because it became increasingly clear to me patients deserved better and improved treatment options.
Bill's not alone in his pursuit for answers. He's joined a team of experts who are redefining the way they approach these diseases. They're using scientific discoveries that have given them a leg up in the research they've been doing for decades.
So cell and gene therapy is something I've dedicated my life to. It is one of the best ways for us to get to a better approach.
Cell and gene therapies are designed to treat, prevent, or potentially cure diseases by addressing their underlying causes. Cell therapy modifies a patient's cells or gives them cells they lack. Gene therapy, which includes gene editing and other approaches, modifies the genetic code to fix a defect or improve how certain cells work. Sometimes they are used together to treat disease.
Gene editing is a new modality. Before the development of this technology, pretty much the concept of editing the human genome and potentially correcting disease-causing mutations was considered science fiction.
It's very cutting edge. We are very excited to come every day, explore options, not just in one disease area, but in multiple disease areas.
Gene editing has enabled scientists to test the bounds of what's possible. For the first time, they may be able to fix mistakes in the genetic code and potentially change the lives of people living with genetic diseases.
Traditional small molecule therapies, these are drugs that potentially need to be taken daily, whereas a cell and gene therapy has the potential to deliver a one-time therapy that drastically transforms a patient's lives.
We're in a very interesting and lucky period in biology where we now have the chance of getting control of genes and cells, the units of life. And if we can learn how to better manipulate and understand what they do, we can not only alleviate various serious diseases, but I like to think we can also make human health a possibility for many more people.
Something that may have seemed impossible even 10 years ago is now what we work on every day. And the work that we do is exciting, cutting edge, and it brings an immense amount of hope for our patients.
For decades, research on genetic diseases has mostly focused on managing symptoms. But these teams of specialized scientists are investigating the defects in genes and cells that give rise to these conditions with the hopes of solving them once and for all.
We go to the root cause of disease. We believe that this is what is going to be most transformational and beneficial to the patient going forward.
By doing that, we can make sure that we're identifying the very basis of an issue and making sure that it gets resolved going forward.
But each new answer brings new problems to solve, new layers to peel back. Every hurdle they overcome brings these scientists deeper into previously uncharted territory.
Being at the cutting edge of science, working on such an innovative approach, every day we're facing new challenges.
How do we get from beginning to end? That doesn't happen quickly, but it does happen here.